Shedeur Sanders looked like a franchise quarterback last week, and I'm loving the momentum, the discourse that's starting to happen all throughout the media. People understanding. If you've been following Shedeur, if you've been following our team, right? If you go back to his time at Jackson State, you knew he was an incredibly talented quarterback. You know he's a first round talent, and that's what we saw. So in today's video, we're going to go and compare. How did Shedeur look in comparison to some of these other rookie quarterbacks? And I think it's pretty clear that he definitely looked the best. And it's going to be fun to see what Cleveland does from here on out. Now, I did see that Shedeur still running with like the 2s and 3s. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett kind of doing their thing more so with the 1s. That's fine, man. It's about the long game. He's going to get his opportunity to start. I think that's very clear because now you got real NFL tape there showing him making NFL throws. You cannot deny the talent that he is. Let's talk about Pro Football Talk. Mike Florio, a guy that has been critical of this whole process, I feel, really changing his tune today. I'll put out a short about it later, but he was saying, man, Shedeur made the NFL look like idiots, man, because he clearly just showed special talent. Even Chris Sims was saying he was making some throws and his pocket presence movement was Brady-esque. This is stuff that we've known, guys. And there's been like this strange agenda where people are making us think like, are what we've seen on tape like a fantasy? No. He showed to be right up there with Cam Ward, Jaxson Dart, if not better. So smash that like, be able to, join the discourse in the comments, and let's get it running. So Ryan Nicole Jamel, man, I don't know what's going on in your day, man, but good Lord, man. I hope you get somebody to hug you. Ryan Nicole, hey, bro, I agree. He definitely looked like the best out there and didn't like how the coaches wasn't really giving him his respect. They had the dumb face. Yeah, talk about punchable face like Kevin Stefanski, right? But let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff. Shedeur played great, and of course you saw in his press conference, man, he kept everything 100, man. He was giving everybody else credit, praise. I saw that he hooked his teammates up with some of the cleats, which you love to see that. Again, this is stuff that we've just seen from Shedeur. I think often mischaracterized and misunderstood. But let's go ahead and take a look at this, guys. This is very important for success in the NFL. We're going to get to this, and let's see if my marker tool will work here. Let's see here. Take a look at this. Medium depth between 10 and 19 yards. This is very important to have long-term success in the NFL. You can make these intermediate throws often and with accuracy. And we saw that Shedeur, some of his best quadrants, passing throughout college was this area. And I think that bodes very well for NFL success. You see 5 of 4, not only 80% completion, but 2 touchdowns as well. 2 touchdowns as well. So getting it done. Passer, the PFF grading of 90. Hey, anything over 90 is really freaking amazing. You loved it. You can see not a ton of deep shots, but you saw he did complete that deep shot on the run off platform with that little flick of the wrist. And then what was it? Florio coming up with the one-handed catch. But he settled down after those first couple drives or so where they had to punt, and you saw that he was money. And again, everything short around the line of scrimmage, slightly beyond, I think he looked really good in as well. Now, there were a couple ducks that he threw, again, with the pace of play of the NFL just being much faster. You saw he settled down as the game went forward. He's making more of those throws moving forward. Again, incredibly impressed. It's not necessarily about the stats in preseason, I think, for these quarterbacks, but I do think it goes to support, in this case, what I'm trying to say. But what you want to see out of these guys is just being able to flash, to make those throws that make you go, wow. And multiple third downs. You saw him stand strong in the pocket and deliver on these intermediate to deep, like dig routes over the middle, long crossers, 3 of 4, 56 yards, and a touchdown, a 156.3 passer rating between 10 and 20 yards over the middle. That means the defense is going to have to account for all these different quadrants. They can't do what they would always do with Russell Wilson here in Denver, and it's just, play these segments because he's too short to see over the line. Now, they probably have a quarterback also on the roster that's a little too short to see over the line. We'll see how that goes, but that's not the topic of conversation. Now let's get to what some of these other quarterbacks did as well. And I thought some of them definitely looked good. Now, again, remember, Shedeur didn't have a lot of reps with these guys. And again, as he settled down, you saw him just elevate talent, what he normally does. Again, Shedeur's used to coming into bad programs and helping elevate the entire roster. That's just what he's always done. And but let's go ahead and start with Cam Ward, I think, since I'm here in San Antonio, right? Cam Ward, I thought that he looked good. Not a lot of reps, right? You can see here 7 total attempts, 5 completions. Not too much, but you saw he was also good on his over the middle stuff, which is great to see. No deep shots. He'll probably play more this week, I would assume, and I look forward to seeing him throw it deep. I want Cam Ward to succeed as well. But again, just not a lot of run for him so far. That will change. Jaxson Dart. He surprised me. Now, given a lot of his stuff was short, didn't give him as many tough throws, and wasn't, in my opinion, asked to do nearly as much as Shedeur was. But yeah, I think he did a good job. Still completing pretty much the majority of his passes at or slightly in front of the line of scrimmage. But you can see here, just wasn't asked to do too much, over the middle beyond, the first down marker. We'll have to see. But I think that the Giants actually did a pretty good job of maybe not asking him to do too much. It was very clear the Browns, they really tested Shedeur. And I thought in most of these situations, he performed really, really well, which is awesome to see. But I think the Giants played it a little safe with Jaxson Dart. And I think that's what you would expect with most rookie quarterbacks. Now, when you get to Tyler Shough, yeah, you can see here 33% completion on that quadrant that Shedeur had 80% on and a lot more attempts. He had a touchdown and a pick, and you can see the majority of his stuff again was just at or behind the line of scrimmage. Again, this isn't really surprising. Now he was 1-on-1 for a big touchdown there later in the game, which was great to see for him. But I think you're going to see those accuracy issues downfield continue to show as time goes on. But you can see here was near perfect with the short stuff, but the intermediate stuff, 1 for 3, you want to see better. And then with Jalen Milroe, we didn't really get to see too much, I guess, but 40% completion on these intermediate routes, 2 of 5. That's not great. We all knew that Jalen Milroe was a little bit more of a long-term development when it comes to his pocket passing in the NFL. Hopefully the Seahawks don't rush him into the starting lineup with Sam Darnold being there, because I do want him to succeed too. But I think it's very clear when you look at what these guys were asked to do, where they were throwing their passes. I wish NFL Next Gen had their passing charts released. I didn't see them yet for 2025. Let me know if I'm just looking in the wrong place. But I think it's very clear, man. We saw Shedeur Sanders look the best out of any of these rookie quarterbacks this year or this week. And I look forward to seeing him have more success week 2 against the Eagles. Now, what's interesting is some people might get frustrated if he's not starting against the Eagles. I'm not necessarily going to do that because if Joe Flacco struggles, right, and then Shedeur comes in and plays really well, it's only inevitable at that point. That's how I feel about it. And probably would rather not have like any rookie quarterback go up against the Eagles straight on. But like we saw with the risk of kind of, hey, Shedeur hasn't gotten a lot of reps. We're going to throw him out there against Carolina. And he did really well. Maybe Shedeur's got the opportunity, of course, if he plays really well this week, to catapult himself up the depth chart. I think that this week is going to be really telling. And yeah, Dylan Gabriel better bring it. Kenny Pickett better bring it. Hopefully the Browns decide to cut some of these guys because they got way too many quarterbacks. Freaking Tyler Huntley. Come on now. But just remember, guys, a lot of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, they sat for a while. And I don't necessarily think that that's the worst thing for Shedeur either, man. I mean, again, two of our latest MVPs, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, sat a significant amount. Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, sat for a while as well. There were guys that played the majority of their rookie year, but they didn't start that first week. Josh Allen, CJ Stroud was not a starter either, came in due to injury, if I remember correctly. Or maybe that was the second week. I'm trying to remember, but Josh Allen, it was pretty rare. I think what we saw last year is that pretty much all these guys, except Michael Penix and, of course, JJ McCarthy was injured. But you saw these guys get thrown out there the first week, and we didn't have like a passing touchdown from any rookie quarterback until week 4, I think. So, again, like there's no reason to rush this thing. Shedeur is showing exactly what you want to see out of a franchise quarterback. And as long as he continues to maximize his opportunities, and I think you can see it. He's doing that. He's doing the right things in the locker room. It's very clear. Everybody like really supports him. The fans support him. I think definitely the owner out there in Cleveland also supports what's going on. I think it's only a matter of time. So this was amazing. I think a lot of franchises are going to be feeling dumb because, again, Shedeur Sanders walked to the beat of his own drum throughout this draft process. And like Mike Florio was saying, I think a lot of NFL GMs and franchises just looked way too deeply into that, man, because you cannot deny the arm talent. I mean, he looked the part against Carolina. So I'll get to a few of your comments. I just wanted to keep this as a quick little live stream. Yeah. Paul Simmons, Dart surprised me as well. Yeah, I thought Dart played good. Again, wasn't asked to do as much, but I was definitely surprised. OFB, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Nubian, hope you're doing well. OFB saying, man, I don't like doubters who've seen with their eyeballs that grown is ready. Give Shedeur a Brady O-line and he'll pick a defense apart. Yeah, I totally agree, man. And again, Shedeur has never had the greatest offensive lines around him, and that's the same case as it is in Cleveland right now. So let's say, hey, he gets his opportunity at some point in the regular season and plays really well. I expect him to. What's great is that moving forward, Cleveland should be able to have plenty of assets and cap space to bolster this offensive line. Hopefully that Judkins stuff gets figured out. I didn't realize that he still wasn't signed until the game day. But it would be great to have a nice running back out there, but I know there's that whole legal situation. So, yeah, Bo Nix took a safety. We didn't pick up that corner blitz, buddy. Are you watching Broncos football? You can be honest with me. Keith, Shedeur had to improvise. Practice reps, the groundskeeper, and equipment to get ready for Friday's preseason game versus Carolina. Yeah, you're right. He had to spend a ton of time outside of practice because when you got now 5 quarterbacks on the roster, and then I guess 6, including Deshaun Watson. I mean, some of this stuff is just, it's typical Browns, right, Keith, where you see you're trying to split reps between 4 or 5 guys. You're only getting 7 throws sometimes. Shedeur's getting 7 throws in like 11 on 11 or 7 on 7, man. That's not enough to really make a gauge on anything, you know? So great to see his dedication and preparation leading up to this, working with equipment guys, the groundskeeper guys. I think he did a phenomenal job. So, yeah, let's continue to do your thing, Shedeur. You're doing everything right. And again, when you make these types of throws that he did on the run or facing pressure, standing strong in the pocket, the ball placement in between the defensive backs downfield in that intermediate range, not every quarterback in the NFL can make those throws. No way. Paul Simmons, I think Shedeur's 5th round slot is embarrassing. A lot of Browns, man. I think it is too, man. He was my number 1 quarterback. You might say, Dave, you're biased. Yeah. But I think it's reasonable that like him and Cam Ward were the best quarterbacks in this draft. And yeah, I think they played like it. Maybe Jaxson Dart was a little bit closer than I thought. I mean, we'll just have to see, how his development goes. But again, I think that, franchises like the Saints, man, really? Tyler Shough, Seattle with Jalen Milroe. I don't know, man. I really do wonder if some of these fan bases are going to be pretty upset here down the line that they passed on Shedeur. Now, Landon Lee, this is a very important question. If the Browns play the Broncos, who would you root for? I'm going with, what RK from DNVR does as well, man. It's Broncos over everybody. But aside from the Broncos, man, we'll be rooting for Shedeur. Now, I think the Browns do play the Broncos this year. I know they played last year, but maybe I'm tripping. I'm looking this up. Nope, they don't. I was just I must have gotten them confused with the Bengals with Cincinnati week 4. So, hey, that's good. My allegiances will not be tested this year for that matter. So, unless they make the playoffs, right? Unless we both make the playoffs, man, we'll have to see. But yeah, overall, I think Shedeur on top right now in rookie quarterback rankings. And I'll end by saying this. If the Browns are going to find their franchise quarterback, it's going to be in the most Browns way possible. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll be back later tonight, talk some Buffs scrimmage takeaways. Y'all have a good one. Let's go Buffs.